Hi and welcome. My name is Shane, co-founder of Lifetick, and I'm here to give you a short demonstration of Lifetick for individuals. This is our free account. So let me begin by going straight to the sign up button. This is at lifetick.com, and as you can see, there's an individual or an organization account, in which case we're going to go for individual. Now I could use my Gmail account or single sign-on there, but in this instance I'm actually going to create a separate password for myself. And we do have an activation email that goes out, but you don't need to actually activate the account to start using it. You can go straight in. It's really only once you want to start setting reminders for yourself or inviting others to share goals and so forth. So let's continue and see what happens. Now, we've got some promotion there to upgrade, but for now we're just going to continue with the free version. And rest assured, that free version you can use in perpetuity. There's no need or limit to upgrade at any time. What we're seeing here is our goals page, and it's telling us that we can begin by creating a goal. So I'd like to do that before I take you through some of the navigation. We can create a goal here, and as you can see, we follow the SMART goal setting methodology. We want it to be specific, we need to be able to measure it. How achievable do we think it is for us? Is it relevant to what we value in life? And finally, it has to have a due date. So if we were to say, I want to be promoted to manager this year, I'd say that qualifies as a SMART goal. Now, how will I know I've achieved this goal? It's because I can describe the outcome. It's something that's going to happen, whereas in our premium account, which we'll do a separate demonstration for, we have the concept of financial goals, which lets you put monetary values to goals. But in this instance, we can describe the outcome. Now, this goal is very self-explanatory. You're promoted. It's quite binary. Sometimes goals aren't easily able to define, so we want to make sure we get the specificity right first, but also put some more detail around describing the outcome. In this instance, I'll keep it brief. I will have received the promotion from HR by end of year. Now, how realistic? We've got a bit of a scale here, everything from easy to completely audacious. So I'm going to say this goal might be challenging for me. Short time to go before it's due. Now, how does this goal align with my core values? Core values are those things that are most important in your life. What we do is we create a base set there for you to use, but you can easily add some, delete some, change some. So here, friends, I'm not interested in that core value. I'm just going to delete it. However, family, I might want to change, and I might want to call it relationships. Now, you can be as creative as you like, and you can change the colors on each. And for now, we're just going to run with what we've got here, and we'll close it. You can always go back and edit core values from the main goal screen too. But ultimately, we're going to say that this one probably is a career goal. Now, time specific, when is it going to be achieved? Well, we know it's the end of this year, and that happens to be 31st of December, of course. So why do we want to achieve this goal? We really encourage people to think on this. This is coming back to what is it that's really important about this goal for you in your life right now. So this could be something like, I feel I'm ready for the challenge. I want to lead a team, and I've contributed well to my company. So the more you write there, the more you're giving yourself clarity about what matters to you. So how important is it? Now, any goal is probably going to be high priority, but maybe we're working on some stuff that's medium, and hopefully not working on things that are low priority. But we put it in there anyway, and you can always filter on these later. So if we go to next, what we're going to see now is we've got the option to add tasks. And this is where we really want to be granular as possible. Now, we can have a task that is sign up for mentoring program. Now, what you see here is we've got single tasks, and we've got the concept of repeating tasks. And we've also got subtasks that you can break down. Now, subtasks are part of the premium plan, But for here, you can still access everything to do with the single task, which is the reminders, the due date, and adding notes. So let's say I need to do that this month. I want to remind myself the day before. It can also give you recurrences. So for example, you want to be reminded daily. Please think carefully before you do that. A lot of people get excited with reminders and suddenly they're like, I'm getting too many reminders. But if this was due further into the future, well, that recurrence option would have others as well, like weekly or monthly and so forth, okay? Not just this daily option here. It's because the due date is so close. Let me give you an example. If I change that out to October 31st, then I'm going to see a whole lot more options, right? Because it's further out into the future. So we could say daily, but remember, you need to have activated your account to get those reminders. And then notes. This is where you can be putting in some information. Need to liaise with my boss about attendance. And that's it. You can either save and add another straight from this screen, or you can hit save. And what you're going to see is this task is going to appear. It's showing you that you've got a note against it, and you can easily tick it off to complete it. Repeating tasks are very straightforward. You might want to say attend leadership course, and let's say it's a repeating task. You might say it starts this Friday and it's on every week and it runs for 4 weeks, or you could say it runs until a certain date. So let's just say this runs for 4 weeks, and I'm just going to hit save. And what you see is when you complete repeating tasks, you've got a couple of options. You can go ahead and complete the ones you've done as you go through them, or let's say you forgot to log in and update Lifetick, you could come back and say, hey, I've actually done 2 of those. Alternatively, if you miss something, don't worry, it's not the end of the world, just skip the task and move on to the next recurrence. The advantage of that is you're not going to get hung up with being out of sync. It's going to keep your due date in order, because every time you update it, you'll see here that the due date will update. So if I say I've completed 1 instance, it now shows us that the new due date is for the 2nd recurrence of this task, which will be the 6th of October and so forth. And along the way, we're getting our progress little bar here, and it's saying, hey, green means you're on track, you're not behind. And that is shading in how many of those tasks you've done. And if I hover over it, it says you've done 20% of your tasks, which just happens to be 1 out of 5. 1 task here and 4 repeating tasks. Now, some other cool things about creating goals in Lifetick. 1, sharing. I really encourage you to think about how you might want to share goals. It could be a friend, your spouse, a mentor, a colleague, and there's a few different ways we can do it. So the first way you can share a goal is simply add that person as someone who's going to work on that goal with you. Could be your husband or wife and you want to go on a family holiday. Great. Let's assign some tasks to you, assign some tasks to me, and we're going to get there together. It also lets you say, hey, anyone can do this task. So you can be very specific or very general about that. Now, they can also just have a free account to do that. That's no problem at all. And so they either own it or they collaborate. So owner means they've got the ability to edit the goal, not just complete tasks and so forth. And finally, we have a supporter. Think of this as someone who's going to be able to see your goals and support you on them. They're not completing the tasks. They're there just to see that you're on track. And you can just put in their email, send an invite. Now, what a supporter can do is they can comment on your goal for you. So as you can see here, I've got a little activity list of everything that's happened on this goal. I created it. I've created 2 tasks, and I can even put some comments for myself. Feeling motivated. Now, all of this is going to get written to your journal as well in Lifetick, which is great. Now, someone who's supporting you or sharing goals, they can also comment. So everything related to this goal is contained here in this activity screen. Actions. There's a few other things. You can go back and edit the primary settings on the goal itself. Yep, no problem. You can also go in and you can push out the dates or bring forward dates. Now, I'll be very honest. I've been using Lifetick since we created it in 2008, and there's not too many goals I have not pushed out the dates on. But Having said that, I've also achieved some personally amazing goals. And so use the functionality if it's there. If it's a date that can be pushed out and you're falling behind, then go ahead and give that a go. Of course, you can bring them forward. I don't think I've ever been able to do that. Finally, you can convert it to a dream or delete. So I'm going to talk a little bit about dreams shortly, so keep that in mind. All right. Now, as you can see, we've completed one of our recurring tasks. We can add more tasks. And as we progress, we're seeing a progress tracker and we can see what core value it belongs to. And as we close this, we've now got our list view of goals with very nice succinct one goal in there. So go ahead, you can create up to 4. And when you complete them, you can go ahead and create another one. So you can have a maximum amount of goals. 4, you can also sort them in different ways. You can filter on them. As you can see down the side here, we can filter by the core values, how achievable it is, and that priority as well. This here is my goals, but if someone asked me to support them, I could click this button and support someone else. Okay, now let's have a look around the system. Now that you've got a good sense of what it is to create a goal, let's have a quick peek at the other functionality. So I mentioned dreams. Dreams I use so much, and the way I describe dreams are being things that you think you really want to go for at some stage in the future, but you're just not ready to start working on it yet. So you don't want to forget about it. You might want to be reminded about it, but ultimately, it's a parking lot, right? It's a parking lot. So let's add a dream. So I could say ride my motorbike around Africa. Not sure my wife would agree with that dream, but how confident am I of what's the likelihood of achieving this? Am I hopeful, confident, or absolutely I am going to do this one day? Let's just put it back up to hopeful. So how does it align with my core values? Well, in my own personal Lifetick account, I have a core value of adventure. So that's where it would sit. But for here, let's just call it lifestyle. Why is it important to you? And as you can see here, you can type as much as you want. Some of these boxes you can expand. So take advantage of that. Good for readability. Because it is living out a life of adventure. Okay, now you can set a single reminder for this. Why a single reminder? Well, I might not even be ready to think about this for 2 years, right? So it's just a way of getting it back into your consciousness. So I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Remind me about that, I don't know, 2025 sometime. How's that sound? Great. Now, I'm going to save that that dream, and now I have the opportunity to convert it to a goal. So what does that mean? Well, just like you see a goals list, you've got your dreams list, okay? And you've got your filtering on the side. Oh, by the way, these little pie charts, when you start to fill other dreams out there and those pie charts look all colorful, you can click on the pieces of pie to filter out. But if I click on this, I can actually go in now and convert this dream to a goal. What does that mean? That means I'm ready to start working on it, okay? So if I go convert to goal, it says, hey, are you sure? Well, yes, I am sure. So hit OK and jump in, and straight away you can see all the remaining goal fields are there to be created. And then you can add tasks. Now, the very cool thing is that let's say you've got a goal and you're not really progressing. You don't want to just keep adjusting the dates. You're like, you know what? I'm not ready for this now. You can go in and say convert back to dream. Okay. So you can take any goal. You don't have to create it as a dream first and convert it to a goal. It could have just been a goal you created. You can convert it to a dream. Now, the beauty is what it's going to do, it's going to keep all that content behind the scenes, the tasks you've created, all the details on the goal, and it's just going to hide it for you. But it's only going to retain what's relevant to the dream. And then it can sit there and it can have its reminder. And if you want, you can move it back over. So I've done a little bit of toing and froing myself over the years. But yes, I do encourage you to use dreams, because the thing about dreams is it's a way to just imagine a possible future for yourself and your family or your relationship or your work. But it's about imagining possibilities. So when people sign up to Lifetick, they usually have like a goal in mind, or they might be like, oh, what are goals about? So two kinds of audience. Some that know exactly what they're looking for, and others are like, hey, what is this all about? Now, if you've got a goal in mind and you can articulate, that's fantastic. Get started on creating a goal. However, if you're really not sure, you've created a goal and you don't know what else is going on there, then step back, jump into dreams, and go crazy. Like, put them all in there and really let yourself imagine what's possible. And then as you start to ponder it, contemplate it, sleep on it, you can say, you know what, this is one I really want to work towards. So go ahead and do that. Now, to wrap it up, I want to show a couple more things. I want to talk about the journal. As I mentioned, you have your goal activity that's being written to the journal. You can see that also there's the ability to write a journal entry. So in other words, you're writing in your diary. Fantastic, very straightforward. And we also have trackers. I'm going to talk about trackers in the premium version. It's not available in the free account, but certainly writing simple journal entries is available, and strongly encourage it, because as we know, a lot of successful people in life were very good at keeping journals, unpacking their thoughts and feelings for the day, going back, looking over it, looking at their journeys. And the thing that surprises me most about when I write a journal is how often time just flies by. It could just suddenly in the heartbeat be 3 months since I last wrote a journal, or 6 months. So some are more diligent than others. Now, we also have some reports. Now, these reports give you the ability to do some charting and also see tabular views. It can do stuff on your journals, completed upcoming goals, tasks. Right now, we've got no data. That's no problem. It very quickly starts to fill up. You can group it by different time periods, and then there's your tabular form. So if you were to say, hey, I want to see all of my upcoming tasks across all my goals, there you go. There's the view. I've grouped it by month, or I can group it by day, and so forth. That's going to be period ending today. Let's do 45 days, right? So there you go. So you got a few little permutations you can mix around with. And finally, we have a dashboard. So the dashboard brings you a bit of a status across the top of your goals, how much you are doing, and it'll do comparisons against previous months. And it'll be red if you're behind, green if you're on track. You can quickly put a journal note in here, so you don't have to go to the journal screen. You can look at what tasks are coming up in the near future and tick them off here. And for those who upgrade, you've also got the ability to record some trackers. And so that's it. Lifetick free account. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you get a lot out of it, so that you can really get a good sense of whether you want to go ahead and upgrade to the premium account. We'd be very happy if everyone went ahead and used Lifetick free version, because it means that at least they're working towards their goals. So thank you for your time. Please pop in any questions in the comments, and we hope to get back to you very quickly, and we look forward to you becoming a Lifeticker yourself. Thank you very much.